So this time on Sprague River Homestead, we're going to outline our 2018 plans. So the last 4 years of building Sprague River Homestead, we first started with just a simple 1,100 square foot house on a mild 20 acres of woods. In the last 4 years, we added 2 barns, a shop, multiple livestock buildings, an underground water system, cistern, solar system, and plenty of other stuff. So for the 5th year, this is our finishing year. So what you see behind me is the front half of our 20 acres, our original 20 acres. And this year we're going to add a lot of fencing. So we need to get our goats on pasture. And if you remember last year, most of it during the latter half of spring was every week, spending a little bit during the weekend to put in new fence posts, running fence panels, just to be able to maneuver the goats around to allow them to eat grass and not have to worry about hay. This year, the goal is to put in all our permanent fence posts and fencing and get them out on pasture as much as possible. Now the fence right here runs about a quarter mile down along the front half of our property, which is the main 20, which runs this way, and then we have another 40 acres on that side. We want to fence all this in this year, so we are going to start on the far side on the 40, put in fence posts, readjust the spacing, and then add the fencing in, which is probably going to be barbed wire because that's all we need.
So in addition to what Kanan's talking about on fences, on the perimeter and everything, we are also going to be going to the back 40 and fencing it off. It'll keep the range cattle off of what we're using for our hay meadow, and also wandering neighbor horses that sometimes end up eating all of my grass in the spring. So we'll be doing that 40 as well. Well, another of our big goals is to get the barns actually finished. You can kind of see a little bit that some of the fronts are missing. This barn in particular, we've got to have ready by probably May. This tack area, this front little feed room, is actually going to have our goat stanchion and is going to be where we're going to do some milking hopefully this year. So we'll be milking for the first time. That's a big goal for this year. So we've got to get all that done. We've got some back stuff to do for the girls. We've got to run the electricity because we've got the powering, but we haven't finished the wiring. And then we've got to get the barn stained. And there's also a little bit of roof, like the roof cap and trim to finish off. So hopefully the barns will be finished by the end of this year as well.
Now concerning gardening, for the main garden itself, we're going to add a few more beds this year. And Nikki already mentioned she has potatoes going. She's going to have some seed starts in the house that we'll do during the colder months before we move them out. The dome greenhouse we had last year, we were actually really happy with what we got out of it between the basil and the tomatoes and the peppers and some of the other stuff. So we are going to add a second dome greenhouse this year, and we will definitely film that and get that out for you guys. So if you have any interest of building one of these or seeing what it takes, we'll put that together for you and show you either a time lapse and all the little details, but look forward to that. So again, we're going to do some tomatoes and some other stuff in here that does a little bit better than just in the normal beds in the main greenhouse. And then the smaller greenhouse, the carbon fiber or the polycarbonate one, we'll be rebuilding that as well. Now concerning the bird barns and that Nikki has already started, you can see that she has a few of it put together, and these will be finished up, get all the birds moved out of their individual houses into the main houses here, and then the individual ones that we have out back will be refurbished, probably repainted maybe, and sold. So we'll get those out of here, and then everything will be in a big house like this permanently.
So once the bird houses are done and all the birds are in, it's going to be time to build runs. So we're going to have chicken runs on this side, on the other side we'll have runs for ducks and geese, and then all the turkeys are finally going to get their runs this year. So where we've been barn raising a lot of these critters just because of our predator issues, this year we'll actually be getting some permanent heavy duty runs put out so they can actually get outside a little bit more. Alright, well this doesn't look like much, but this is where we're going to put our pigs this year. So we are going to get started with some pigs. The long-term plan is to probably start raising a smaller breed like coons or American guinea hogs. But for this first little foray into pig ownership, we're just going to get some weaner pigs, grow them out for butcher. We're going to grow some for my parents, for us, and I've got some family that live up towards Portland, so we'll do that for them. Beyond the pigs, part of the reason, if you watched the last update, Kanan mentioned that we sold some of our older goats. That is because we are bringing in a new breed this year. We're bringing in Kinders, which are the only true dual-purpose breed of goat. So we'll be getting some doelings and a little buck later on this spring. So when they arrive, we'll make a video and introduce them to all of you. And then we've also got all of our breeding programs in place for the rabbits and for our chicken breeds. So starting in about March, we're going to be firing up our incubator and getting started with ducks, hopefully geese if they're laying, and some of our chickens. So we've got all the breeding in place and getting ready to get started.
So what do you think of our list? Totally ambitious? Or for us, it's just about right. So this year is going to be a finish and cleaning year. So all the piles behind you see, all the limbs, those will either be moved, chipped, or burned. So that's it for this time at Sprague River Homestead. Now that is our 2018 list. We'd love to hear what you guys have planned out there for yours, whether it's totally ambitious or you're just trying to make it happen this year. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time.